Hello, today we will talk about the inhabitants of the world. Well, let's start by asking a question. How many people are there in the world? Well, in the world there are about 6.5 billion of people. But when talking about the population of the world, we have to take into consideration the difference between developed countries and poor countries. And we also have to take into consideration the growth rate. Well, the growth rate changes for developed countries and poor countries. Let's focus on the difference between developed countries and poor countries, or developing countries. The first one, developed countries, are countries in which we can say that economy is advanced and they are more economically developed compared to other countries, while developing countries are less economically developed countries, and in these countries we can say that many people are poor. When talking about the population growth, we have to focus our attention on the differences among mortality rate, birth rate, fertility rate, and growth zero of a country. Well, growth zero is when the birth rate and the death rate are equal, so we have zero population growth. The mortality rate is concerned with the number of deaths during a period of time, while the birth rate is concerned with the number of babies born in a place during a period of time. The fertility rate of a population is the average number of children that will be born to a woman over her lifetime. Today, the highest growth rate is in Africa, Latin America, and Asia. Now let's talk about the movement of people. Migration is when people decide to move from one country to another to live. But let's focus our attention now on the difference between emigration and immigration. Emigration is the movement of people from a place, while immigration is the movement of people to a place. People moving away are called emigrants, while people entering a country are called immigrants. But why do people migrate? There are pull factors, factors that attract people to a place, and push factors, factors that push people out of a place. In general, we can say that there are pull factors and push factors. Push factors are factors that attract people to a place. For example, more jobs and better life, freedom and peace, or economic opportunity and the welfare of a country. This can be considered all pull factors. And here we have a list of push factors, a factor that push people out of a place. First of all, war, poverty and overpopulation, political and religious persecution, and famine. Well, let's take a look at these old pictures. Italy can be considered a land of immigrants, and between 1870 and 1915 there was a large number of people who emigrated to the United States, Canada, and South America. Germany, Canada, Switzerland, and also France. Well, thanks for listening to me and watching. Don't forget to stay home and see you next time. Bye bye.